Thank you.
I'm going to tweet these out real quick. Do we have anybody in here now? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
What are the topics?
One sec. We're going to quick preview and chat about what just happened in there. Just being like, hey, this would happen.
Group chat.
Gives an overview where we're going to release this after later this afternoon. And then, so we'll just, the emergency pod.
I would say 20 minutes on the tweet you just put. Or it's 15 minutes, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not going to matter. Hey guys, welcome in. We have 2 viewers. Check.
I reached 2,500 Twitter followers.
That's huge. I'm working with sorry, one sec. Sup? We're live. I'm behind closed doors. Do you want to say hi to the people? Sure. Say hi to them. There they all are.
What's up, people?
There's Riley.
There's that one person in here. So, yeah, a very lively crowd.
Well, there's my debut. Awesome.
Congrats. Hopefully, careful if the fame goes to your head. It's a no. See you, guy. So give me 2 seconds and then we'll start. I just want to do a quick swipe up. Okay, just hit that. Swipe up. We got that thing. Hey, Nicholas Maxwell, blah, blah, blah. Looks like we are down viewers today. I don't know what it is.
Did you just swipe up?
Yeah, I just posted the swipe up, so we'll give that a...
Yeah, I want to wait like 5 minutes.
Yep. Let's just confirm topics. So we're going to do the emergency pod talk. Is there anything else really quick to hit?
Datadog.
I'm going to go into that because we're going to talk. We'll go into stock talk. Datadog. What was the other company I just went in on?
Albertsons.
And then Apple is up big today. cool. Week 3 or week 4 of fantasy?
It is.
That
we're
was 3.
entering week 4.
Say it again.
We're entering week 4. There's been 3 weeks. Finals start tonight. Major League Baseball playoffs are underway. Do we do sport? Should we just do more sports here? Because we do news and another one. What do you think?
Yeah. We could throw more sports in, especially the finals. It'd be good to talk about. So we'll just fire through fantasy football a little bit quicker than normal, and then we'll hit finals, and then MLB quick. Then we'll go into stock talk, and then we'll cap off with
See what's going on Twitter. I want to ask you if you're going to tune into Bryce Hall's financial podcast.
Oh, yeah, I was going to. So you can ask that at the end.
Okay.
What's her name? We're trying to get him on.
Who?
What's her name? Renee. I called her. She's like, yeah, let me see what I can do.
Trying to get who on?
Bryce.
Yeah, she told me that too.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, if you just say it's drama, they know him.
Yeah.
Like, we all used to fucking watch his show.
Exactly. And he's still connected with them.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Sorry, we only have one person here. What's going on? We're on YouTube and on Twitch, and we only got one viewer. That sucks. But don't worry. We're going to still be kicking away here behind closed doors. We're going to be taking off in just a few minutes, and less than a few, actually, because we're just waiting for some people. I just put up the swipe up. Let's see how many people. 11 people saw that, and none of them decided to join us. So that's sad.
Where's Dre's hype?
Yeah, I know. That's I'm counting on the regular crew here, and they're just nowhere to be found. Maybe it's because we pushed it all the way till 3. I don't know though. Appreciate the tweet. Let us know when mine goes having. So know when to take your lunch. That's funny. Of course, yeah. We'll try to get that out sooner. We're talking on and I a little bit early in the day, so we have a better time. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and retweet that, and retweet that. Yo, OJ. Okay, we got some people rolling in with 9. I'm gonna shut this door and then let's just kick it. We'll bring some more people in as we go. Put this little. Oh, that's what I forgot to ask her about. Sugar sweet honey. Sugar sweet honey. It's in that box. It's top secret. Let's knock this baby up a little bit. Okay, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. 8 people in here. Okay, are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, guys, welcome back to Behind Closed Doors. Today is September 30th. It's time to get things cracking with our favorite Costa Brava drink. You know what it is. We just drink these things so we have an excuse to drink at work. I do without getting in trouble. So cheers to that.
Let's do it.
And let's get things rolling. Now, big week, especially coming off last night's presidential debate. We're going to give a couple quick hot takes on that and a little bit of emergency pod we're going to tell you about in a second. But we're going to also fly into all things sports. We have a ton of things happening, including fantasy football, the NBA Finals, and MLB playoffs taking place. We're going to rock into all things stock talk and with a couple of very fun and exciting things. So, let's get into it right away. We just literally came out of the podcast room because the people asked for it on Twitter, especially, and all over the social media networks. They wanted the hot takes right away after the debate. We couldn't wait till tomorrow to do it for the regular pod. So, Anand, you and D just did an emergency pod. Give me a quick overview of what that was, and that'll actually be coming out later for anybody listening now.
Yeah, I think we felt the need to do it because everyone was asking our opinion.
Yes.
I also feel like I work for Barstool now because we're just content machines. Just went from one pod to the next pod.
Bam, 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 bam.
Keep going. No, but I think it's important to listen to, not if you're a Republican or Democrat, because we didn't even talk about that. It was more just the state of the country and the purposes of debates and who these swing voters are and who's being convinced by what. It was more, I think, a general, like, let's just gauge the pulse of the country rather than who won, who lost, and, like, obviously the theatrics of it we talked about. But it was fun. We did about 15 to 20 minutes. Everyone, please listen.
I think the greatest things about a quick little segments like this and those hot takes, it's really to spark conversation and to spark thought. Like, this isn't to say you're voting for one side or another or to give you an opinion or skew to one side. It's really about just provoking thought and being like, let's all look at the bigger picture here. There's two people standing up there. Let's peel those onions back one later time.
Perfect.
Great. So look out for that. We're going to be releasing it on the group chat channel. It'll be on after this because I have to edit that after I'm done with this show. So that'll be out this afternoon. And then we're going to really dive into it even more on Thursday. So look out for all of that. Let's get rocking right away now next into let's go week 3 of fantasy football. Not as many injuries as week 2, but a lot of very good things did happen. Took a fat OL this week because
so what are you, 1 and 2?
1 and 2 in both leagues, and the faulty Ravens fucked me up so hard. I'm over the Ravens. They're fake.
You had Lamar?
No, I had one of their wideouts. I forget his name now.
Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
Yeah. Lamar was neutralized. I am on fire and fuego.
Yeah, Data. We're all on Data Dog. I got D on it now, man.
I'm on fire. 3-0.
You're 3-0. Well, who did you beat?
Russell Wilson, baby. He's a machine.
He's crazy. I don't know what more to say about him. He's an absolute machine.
But here's the fun part of fantasy football. The Titans and Steelers have postponed their game. They claim they're going to play either Monday of next week or Tuesday. They haven't figured out a date. But this turns fantasy upside down because both teams have stars. Derrick Henry, he's a first-round pick in every league. Juju Smith.
I just picked up their tight end, and he's producing crazy numbers for a tight end right now.
Yeah, so I don't know how our fantasy league is going to deal with it. Half the league wants to just say, that's your fault. If they don't play, they don't play. Or do you do backups? But it'll be interesting. It's the one thing that can really piss fans off because the only reason the NFL is as big as it is because of gambling and fantasy and all these, like, different ways to put money on the action once a week, and it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There's going to be a lot of controversy. It's funny because I was on YouTube the other day just looking for random shit to watch while I was editing stuff, and it was Jimmy Tatro's if the refs played fantasy football, and it's so hilarious how it's like all being played out now, where it's just like they go to call a penalty, and it's all about, well, actually, I drafted the quarterback in my league, so it's probably not good I call that penalty.
Right.
Really funny video on fantasy football, and it's becoming more and more brought into mainstream. So it'll be interesting. How's week 4 looking for you?
Well, I mean, with Derrick Henry in the COVID game, that's not fun. And Chris Carson's injured.
Right.
I have my 2 best running backs out this week. So
I know without Christian McCaffrey, I'm having like low performance out of my running back, so I really need him back.
I'm just counting on Russell Wilson to have 10 touchdowns on Sunday.
Why not? I mean, that's the standard, right? He's projected for the highest amount of, I don't know if it's ever, but he's projected like 32 points this week.
Yeah, I mean.
Projected, which means he's probably going to do like 60.
He had 5 touchdowns week 1, 4 touchdowns week 2, 5 touchdowns week 3.
That's because of that rookie wideout, Metcalf.
And Lockett, both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's finding everyone. He's literally finding everyone.
So week 4 is bound to be very, very interesting, especially with this COVID take by the Titans. And who else did it? Sorry?
Steelers.
So we knew this would happen. Now it's happening. We're going to see how it's dealt with, and it's going to happen throughout the rest of the season. So very interesting to keep watch on that. We will be having a very interesting conversation come next week once we get results of how that's all dealt with. Quickly moving on to the finals. Tonight is game 1 of the NBA Finals. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is between the Miami Heat and the LA Lakers. We knew the Lakers would be here. Nobody thought the Heat would be here. Obviously, you're rooting for the Lakers. Let's just go right into the hottest question. Is it going to be a sweep or not a sweep?
No, it won't be a sweep. I think the Lakers are going to win. I think LeBron's just locked in. And I don't
think we go 7.
If it goes 7, the Lakers will definitely win because all the calls will go to LeBron.
It's true. When you get in those game sevens, he'll just get you. He'll
Yeah.
get you the last 2 minutes, and you'll be like, how the fuck did he do it? And it's just like, that's how the system works.
I mean, they have the two best players on the floor. Miami has 7-8 deep. I get it, but I think the momentum and the energy is just there. It's the year for Kobe. There's just LeBron's going to get all the calls. Like
Right.
he's locked in. This is a legacy series. He
Yep.
can go 110%. LeBron knows how to coast when he can.
Yep.
And save himself. Now he has nothing to save himself for. So I think it's just going to be an onslaught.
But one thing I will say will be interesting is to see really how age plays against youth here, because you're talking about the Heat who have so many young guys and they're deep and they can play. I mean, I'd love to see this go to 7 games. That'll make it the most interesting because LeBron gets his storyline, plus the Heat competing with them to 7 games means they're really like stood out to be the number 2 team throughout the entire year, which is a huge respect to them. I think even if they go to 7 games, that's huge for them.
I know everyone's saying the Heat are fearless. They're not going to be intimidated because that's how they've played. Guess what? This is the big lights. This is LeBron James. This is different.
Right.
This is not playing the Boston Celtics.
But you know, but it's in the bubble. That's the other thing. You don't have that crowd noise. You don't have that extra added pressure. So I think that relieves a little bit.
I know these kids are young. Tyler Hero's 20. But when LeBron shows up, it's a different story.
It's a way different story. That's some of the greats like we've talked about before with Michael Jordan and others of that same stature. So very interesting there. We also have the MLB playoffs. I don't give a fuck about the MLB, so I have no take here. What do you got?
Dodgers are playing the Brewers.
Go Dodgers. No, go Brewers. Fuck. I just didn't realize what you said. I don't even know who the Brewers got.
It's the best of 3 series. Brewers are so banged up.
Yeah, who do you even have here? You got your boy Ryan over there?
I always root for Ryan.
Okay.
If once Ryan's out, then I root for the Dodgers.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's my rule. Even when they played in the playoffs, I used to go to the playoff games and root for Ryan. I wasn't trying to.
Whenever he's back in LA, you have to introduce me because all my friends at home would literally be so jealous.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, let's move on to our favorite segment of the day. Why? Because I'm effing rich from this shit. We're going to move into stock talk. That's what I'm calling this segment. We're moving into stock talk, and the number 1 hottest stock on the market right now is Datadog, baby. Go Datadog. Datadog through the roof. I'm waking up every morning with a Robinhood notice going, Datadog's up, Datadog's up. We're up almost 11% today.
Up 16% since last week, right?
I am going to be a very rich man. I'm up $20. So by next week, I should be up 40.
Yeah, I mean, Datadog to the moon. It's funny because we talked about it here last week, talked about it again on the podcast. So a lot of people from our podcast circuit and behind closed doors circuit bought Datadog. I got a lot of DMs.
Yep, this guy over here. This guy over here in the chat, we're live here on Twitch. Dre is hyped, the guy who's in here every single time. Our boy Dre is hype, is always here, always supporting. He said, I told my friend about Datadog. Today he asked me, how did you know? Why? Because you listen to Behind Closed Doors at Datadog to the moon, my guy.
And you diversified your portfolio.
Yes. So I also bought in on Albertsons. We talked about them on the pod earlier this week or last week. What was it? Monday. For Monday's episode, we talked about Albertsons. I talked to Josh down at New Republic, and we had a quick chat. And he's like, man, Albertsons, man, they just made me a ton of money. They're going to the moon. And I put the rest in.
We went all in.
We went all back in. I have no more buying power.
Okay, that's good. Albertson.
But Slack and what was the other one? Data DocuSign killed my profit. So I'm back on the building grind. I started with 500. I was up 100 from, which is stupid of me, but from Penn's stock. I was in at, I think I bought in at 35 or 40. I dropped off. Yeah, it's up at 70 now. I dropped up at 50 because I was like, I don't really know like what's going to happen. I didn't know if it was just a fake jump, but then it turned out to actually go a lot higher. So now I'm regretting it. So I'm back in on it. But ever since then, DocuSign took away all my money and started another one. So I'm back to like even right now.
Got it.
But I have a strong feeling Datadog's not going to let me down, and neither will Albertsons.
Yeah, you're hot.
So, people over here get to know Albertsons. That stuff's going to take us to the moon. After that, Apple, Tim is up big. He's up over
8% since D put in the money.
Over 8% since D put in 10 shares, roughly $1,000 for Tim and Tim's top tickers. What do you think this goes to? What did we say for a timeline?
I don't know. I think it's up to D.
What do you think this does this ever top, or do we just keep going literally to the moon with this?
I think Apple will be fine. They're not going to lose any money. Even if there's a market correction, you hold through it. You're fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Apple's so good. It's so good what they do.
The best stock advice, Datadog's obviously a lot riskier than most of the stocks. And even though I think Datadog's going to do great, the way you should invest in stocks is find companies that you believe will be bigger in 5 years than they are today. And if that is true, put your money in. Amazon will be bigger in 5 years than it is today. There's no competition. It's over. That's my thesis.
That's a hot take. And that's how you got to think about it. So if you're looking for some investment advice, I think that's the best advice you could take right there. Smartest advice I've ever heard, and the one that makes the most sense. So we're going to always keep you up to date on anything to do with our stocks on Stock Talk. Do you have any big bets you're playing this week? You were out last week. Are you back in this week?
Yeah, for stocks, I don't have a pick this week. I don't want to give users bad advice or listeners bad advice. So
not picks, but are you making any plays?
Oh no, I have nothing.
Any options? Nothing.
No, I'm invested in a company called Becton Dickinson. It's a big.
The fuck is it? Am I investing? I'll do it right now.
The stock ticker is BDX. It's a medical diagnostics company, and they released a 15-minute rapid COVID test.
Saw that.
And that's going to be released in Europe at scale, and then ultimately US. So
wow.
If that works, and COVID's here to stay.
Could have another big one, so we'll keep our eye there on Becton Dickinson. The BDX is their initials. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, let's move into our last segment. What do we got coming up for this week? What does the weekend look like? What are big news? I know we already talked about, like we said, the presidential debate. Quick feedback emergency pod that's coming out later today on group chat. But what else do we have?
This week, I mean, everyone needs to tune in to yesterday's episode with the CEO of Allergan, which was a $65 billion company. Not million. Billion. $65 billion company. He was the CEO of Bausch & Lomb. He sits on the board of Cisco. This guy's as big of a wig as it gets. When you talk about like hot shots, he's a hot shot.
And he's very rich. Very, very rich.
Very rich. He sounds like he lives in Miami. He just launched SPAC.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a big deal, and he's obviously brilliant because you don't get to those positions without being really smart, but he's also humble, and you'll definitely hear that on the podcast. So shout out to the Combo Ventures team for bringing him on. It was exciting. It was a great conversation. We did a half hour with him. So almost half the episode.
And his talk on the vaccine, he gives a hot take on the vaccine, his opinion on whether you should take it or not, which is pretty surprising, his answer. He gave a rundown of what a SPAC actually is. So you've actually worked on a SPAC before. We broke into that a little bit. What else did we cover?
We covered his pick for the finals.
Yes.
I wanted to scream at, but in deference to our very rich guest, I quietly kept my mouth shut. He's living in Miami, so you know who he's going for.
He's going for the Heat. I kind of want the Heat. I know I'm in LA. The Lakers will win, but I love the storyline of the Heat, even if they compete. I just want to get.
You know what? I feel bad for you, Pete, because the Lakers are going to win, and if you saw what the city is like when the Lakers win a title.
But again, this sucks. I mean, the city's not going to be the city when it wins.
You understand if the city would be electric the year of Kobe, if the Lakers won the title at Staples Center.
But to do what? I mean, I know, I get it. I totally get it, and I wish we were in COVID because this would be nuts if they win. LA would be on cloud nine.
It would be the hottest LA's ever been.
Yes.
Ever.
But like, what do we do? We can't even gather here.
I know, this fucking sucks because it would be so goddamn epic. Like every bar would be line out the door. It doesn't even matter if it's a dive bar or fancy.
I'd be blacked out for a week.
Oh yeah, I remember when the Lakers beat the Celtics in the back-to-back, like the city was on fire in a good way. Like we were walking around like we won. Like, I mean, everyone felt like the championship was theirs.
Yep.
That's the cool thing about the Lakers. If you live in LA, the Lakers are you. Like, it's one of the same. So if the Lakers lose, you're depressed. If the Lakers win, you're happy.
And if the Clippers win, well, nobody gives
No
a
one
fuck.
gives a fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Find yourself another city.
And they fired Doc Rivers. This guy's a legend.
No, he just came out with a new documentary. Well, it's not exactly him. He takes part in it, and it's a number of other coaches. Like one of them was from the Premier League. He was like the first one in the first episode. I forget what it's something about coaches' teachings or something like that on Netflix. Really good series. I thought his takes on the entire thing. Yeah, he's just a legend in the game. Doesn't matter if he's going to get fired. If he wants to work in the NBA, he can get a job literally anywhere.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
one of the best coaches to ever come to the
And dude, forget the basketball decision of whether you want him to coach or not. All the reports are that Doc Rivers was a big reason the bubble stuck together on that 24 hours of, hey, are the players leaving? Are the players not leaving because of all the social injustice that was going on in Kenosha, Wisconsin? Like, I mean, dude, the dude is NBA DNA.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, I get if you at a long-standing coach like that, it's like what's his name in Dallas? He just got fired this last year. The Cowboys.
Oh, Jason Garrett?
Yeah. Jason Garrett was around for so long. They never really peaked, and I think that's the same thing with Clippers. Like, never could break that. And it's really not about like you not being adequate enough or
They have the talent. Like both teams have the talent.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got to change something, and you're not about to send Kawhi another way and Paul George another way just to think that Doc Rivers is your key to success. So switching up the coaches is something they do in the NBA. So whatever. They parted mutual ways. Like I said, Doc could get a job anywhere in the town. So that is big. What else do we got?
I think that's it. And we can talk to everyone on Twitch. But for the recorded portion,
Bryce Hall.
Oh, sorry. Last topic. Bryce Hall. We talked about this podcast. Bryce Hall has a podcast with a business guy that goes by the name of POMP, P-O-M-P. It's called Capital University. They released the first 13-minute episode yesterday. I listened to it. Fantastic. Mark Cuban's their first guest on the full first episode.
Did they release the first episode?
Just the 13-minute teaser. But it explains everything about what they're planning to do. He shits on Hype House, which was amazing. And then they announced that Mark Cuban's going to be the first guest, which will be Blockbuster. Cuban's doing this. I don't know if you know this. His kids are obsessed with TikTok, and they made Cuban do the TikTok dances.
Oh, yeah.
So I guarantee you his kids are probably like, you better go on and talk to Bryce Hall.
Exactly.
He's probably a hero.
And he's big enough. It's not like you're talking to some puny little kid. But this kid is actually curious and wants to learn and wants to help educate others.
Are you going to listen to get your financial literacy up?
Yes, I just had to remember, but I said in my own head at the podcast that I would listen because I'm genuinely curious too. It's good to hear from people. And my biggest issue with big influencers pods, they are practically they're robbing the podcast industry, and especially on today, that's National Podcast Day. Why don't we give some light to this real quick? And I'll say it, and I say it with a lot of evidence behind this. Influencers have ruined the podcast space for right now because all they did was take their massive followings, come in, and they talk about nothing. The only one that is unique is David Dobrik, which is one of the first ones on the scene, and I think it's like only him and possibly like Logan Paul who have really developed a true podcast. But the majority of people literally just come in, talk about nothing, take advertisers' money, and then are out within like less than a year.
But they're out because they actually never got listeners. So there's actually
these people are. I know these people are getting listeners. It doesn't even matter if they're getting like 1 million listens. That type of money compared to going on YouTube or going and getting a sponsorship just isn't there, and they don't have the bandwidth to do a podcast because it's just about talking about their lives. Whereas somebody like Bryce Hall has actually come in and said, instead of just talking about my life, I want to talk about the educational purposes of growing my educational wealth and knowledge and then sharing that with everybody with experts. I think it's a genius play, and it doesn't play on just the idea that you're an influencer and you have an interesting life.
I think it's going to be an absolute home run. And my gut tells me if kids listen to this, it will be better than anything they learn in college.
Yes, and this is better than that Jake Paul stupid. What did he do? Like finance? Well, he did some. He was trying to do some type of college educational finance class about 101 about how he did the same thing, but then it never took off.
Yeah, it's gonna be entertaining. I can't wait.
So we'll pay attention to that. We'll keep that on our horizon. I'm definitely going to listen to teaser, and definitely the first episode. I think it's hot if it works because it's also opening up about this very, very quiet space of influencer land. Nobody really talks about it. Even David Dobrik, all the stuff I've watched from him, he also doesn't talk about his money. He's only talked about it once or twice in an interview. And at one point, he disclosed that he was making $250,000 a week.
Holy shit.
Week off of just AdSense before they did the adpocalypse and made the crackdown and everything.
Yeah.
So the money is still insane. Now we're seeing this insight from Bryce on these guys all at the Hype House, how much they're making. But
Yeah.
I think there's also something to be learned about how much you can make and how much money is really in there that hasn't been talked about yet. Because nobody wants to disclose it because of I think it's YouTube's policies that you're not allowed to discuss.
Oh,
I don't really
really?
know for sure. Yeah, but the majority of them get shadow banned and or demonetized. So like, who cares? None of them make money from YouTube except the really reserved ones. So.
Yeah.
And Bryce Hall's not making money on that. He's swearing he's got profanity, he's got all the wrong things that get him demonetized. So they make like little to no money. David Dobrik now makes about $1,000 a month from YouTube.
Yeah, he says he doesn't make money off AdSense.
Yes, it's all made off of merch, and he's stated that clearly. And literally, how do you go from? That's why he's like, my videos used to be, we used to be able to do so much because we had $250,000 a month coming in from AdSense, and then dropped down to 1,000.
Yeah.
So ugly scene there. We'll keep it on the rise, and like I said, everything else. We're gonna wrap it up real quick here and answer the rest of the questions we have over here on Twitch. We go live every Wednesday. Stay up to date with us on Twitter and Instagram. I put up swipe ups and links and updates there about when we're going to go live. So if you're not there or subscribe to us here on Twitch, you're going to miss out on that. So head over there and do that. Plus, like I said earlier, we have the hot episode, 15 minutes hot takes on the presidential debate that took place last night, coming from On It and D. We just finished it up. So we're going to release that later today. Any last words for these guys?
Tune in. We're pumping out the content. We're a machine over here. We can't stop, won't stop.
Data Dog to the moon. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here for the pod. All right, see you later, guys.
Peace.
Wow. Cool.
You should be able to buy YNR in UK. We ship internationally, Jake.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too when I read that. Data Dog to the moon. Somebody just said Albertsons is still in business, question mark?
Albertsons has like 2,000 stores still, like 1,700 pharmacies, 400 gas stations.
Look at this. So we're learning a little bit more about Dre's Hype. Dre's Hype is I have class in 15 minutes, first day of senior year in college. I'll try to come by as often as I can. He goes to the University of Washington, and he's an accounting major.
Wow. Dre's Hype on that Data Dog tip.
Yeah. And then PCO, Popal, I don't even know, 82. He went to ASU, Pac-12.
So I actually was at UCLA's campus this morning. My kid has school there, and the campus is empty except it's all athletes. All the college athletes are on campus. The football team was practicing.
Of course.
Everyone I saw on campus, I went for a run. Amazing place to go for a run. They had stairs, they have everything. We're all athletes.
Yeah.
All the athletes are allowed to be on campus, but students aren't. It's kind of funny.
But, I mean, I think the athletes are taking the most precautions, so I think that's within reason, though.
Yeah.
Hauled y'all hook homeboy from last episode. Our team over at Combo Ventures hooked us up. They had a connection there. Specs said in Little John's shots. What? Specs. Oh, I get it. Okay. Boo, come on, Lakers all day. Yes. Do you guys have any last questions? We have about 8 people left in here. Hit us with your last couple of questions. We'll hang out for a few more minutes. Then we got to wrap things up. I got to edit this pod that's going to be coming. Oh, he said not the NBA merch, though.
Oh, shit. We'll work on that.
Whoa, you should check out tweets during a tech conference that Datadog is a vendor at. They are aggressive. What does that even mean?
Meaning people like him or hate him? Everything I hear is engineers swear by him.
A whole lot of selling? Yeah, guy, elaborate more, guys. Yeah, they go hardcore. Hardcore in what way? What do you guys mean? Good, bad, ugly? Be very specific here. We're curious. Because I'm all in on Datadog, but I also think like vendor conferences and tech conferences are all just, it doesn't matter. It's just a highlight reel for 10 seconds that like it doesn't ever matter in the long run, no matter what conference it is. It's just to bring people together, but now in a pandemic, we realize that they're completely pointless. Okay, see you, Dre's hype.
Peace, Dre's hype. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we'll have the debate special released later today everywhere you listen to podcasts. It'll be on the group chat channel, so be sure to check that out. Okay, begin bot and Nick, let's hear this feedback. I'm waiting on you guys. Unless you're typing, we got like 4 more minutes before. Okay, here we go. I use them at startups, but they have so. Oh, okay. So maybe it's just for big companies. He's saying that he has them as a. I use them at startups. They have so many fan people trying to pull you in huge setups. I thought they were one of our top spenders for reInvent AWS. Can you break that down? Do you understand that?
Okay, I use them at startups, but they have so fan people. What does that mean?
I think they're just like big fans. I think what he's trying to say.
Trying to pull you in huge setups. I thought they were booth babes is a term that's used for them often. Oh, they just sell. They're selling their services and they're getting hot girls to sell the software.
Oh,
like, you know what?
Sales.
A really lucrative job, if you're a good talker, is software sales. You can make so much money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just can understand the basics of any of these software companies, it's insane how much you make. And they treat you like gods because they'll overpay you for one sale because they assume that customers are going to be there for 10 years. So they don't mind giving you crazy commissions. They treat you on vacations. I was on our baby moon and, oh, you're not going to like this, Pete. This is why DocuSign's down. I was on our baby moon before Mav was born at the Four Seasons in Maui. And just, it was during Warriors playoff games. I think it was one of the finals games. Nice area outside by the pool where you can watch the game. And then all of a sudden the place just gets slammed. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why are there so many people? You book those type of hotels and get ripped off because you just want your space. You don't want to see anyone. DocuSign had all their sales fucking people in Maui at the Four Seasons. And they're a San Francisco-based company, so they had their fucking Warriors jerseys. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, DocuSign. Fuck DocuSign.
I should have consulted with you before I went on DocuSign.
This is why the company's shitting the bed because they're fucking blowing their budget, sending their fucking sales reps to the Four Seasons in Maui.
Hey, man, if I worked for DocuSign, I'd be all in on that idea.
Yeah.
That's funny, though. Fuck DocuSign. I'm out on DocuSign. I'm not even in on it anymore. I don't like them. Fuck them. What else we got here? Okay, so thanks for the little insight.
Jake, you're from the UK. Where you live? You're in London? How'd you hear about the pod?
Yeah, he was asking about the UK. I didn't even realize he's listening to us. It just goes past me over my head. Yeah.
Begin bot gets it. You sell one product, then change jobs and sell the competitor next year.
Yep.
It's a whole hustle.
The tech world's crazy right now. It's just this uncharted territory, I feel like, still. Like, everybody overpays. There's so much money in it, rightfully so, within reason. But it's just one of those industries that hasn't come down to reality yet, I feel like. Because it's just so advanced that we have to have it.
Enterprise software is the future. So everything, these people are going to make money forever.
Right. Begin bot. Tell us, how did you hear about the pod? You're from the UK, you said?
No, Jake's from the UK. I don't know where Begin.
Jake, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Ripke shouting this out. Even like I did a podcast with a guy a couple weeks or 2 weeks ago, and he's from Germany, and he like hit me up about doing his pod, and he was like, "Oh, I heard you on Ripke's pod." It's crazy. The Germans just love us.
Yeah, we're big in Germany. I wish we could have gone to Oktoberfest.
Wow, no lie. Since episode 1, pre-Onid and Pete.
Wow, how'd you hear about us, Jake? What do you do in the UK, Jake?
Yeah, how did you even get? He probably watched. I'm assuming drama, but what's your connection to the brands?
Begin Bots in LA. Wow, you must be in software. What else we got? Any other questions? We're waiting on a couple answers. They're not typing.
Okay, guys, we got about another 2 minutes.
Oh, Begin Bot wants to explain what Snowflake does. Send us a DM and tell us what Snowflake does.
Yeah, we're curious. We'll feature on. We'll talk about it on group chat tomorrow. Hit up the group chat DM. He wants it to explain right now. Mex Ninja.
All right, Jake. Last call. Anyone else?
Short story long.
Mm.
That's how I found it. Silent on the chat. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I got a bunch of stuff I got to finish. I got to get running. We'll be back again next Wednesday, as always. Make sure you head over to Twitter and or on Instagram. Give us a follow there if you're not already. Turn on notifications. That's always the best. Will Lakers finals result affect the amount of NBA merch that gets sold by YNR? Yeah, goddamn right.
Absolutely, Bryce Betts.
That's how it works, man. They win, we win. Bam. So, again, go ahead and follow us on those social channels. Twitter, Instagram. Those would be, thank you so much. Great episode, guys. I thought the same exact thing. Look forward to the debate episode. Make sure you check that out. Follow us on the channels. Turn your notifications on so you never miss. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back again next Wednesday. Thank you and goodbye.